Hey everybody, it's Aldarius, and today we'll be continuing the Great Katana run. So let's log in. Last time, let's see who we killed. We killed, okay, Ancestor Spirit, Estelle, Godric, Rykard, Renala, Radon, Moog. I think that's it, right? Yeah. So today we'll hopefully kill everybody else in the base game. Starting with probably Morgott. Because I forgot, again, but you can't actually fight Fortisax right now. Unless you do Fia's questline, or you make it to... You kill Morgott here, and you make it to Faramazula. So... yeah. Let me go ahead and do that right now, then. In case you missed part one, which I highly recommend, of course, going back and seeing. This weapon's really good in New Game Plus, for sure. This is a New Game Plus run because it's a DLC weapon, so there's no way for me to get it in New Game besides rushing Moog and hoping for the best, or the way most people do it, getting it and then doing a New Game Plus run. So we start off level 150, which is fine. Although it is pretty easy so far. As soon as we kill Morgott, it's going to be different because, like Fire Giant and onward, the enemies are scaled more or less appropriately, so... that's going to be a bit of a interesting situation. Oh, let me check something real quick as well. Yeah, okay. I just had to make sure my recording settings were good. The last recording turned out pretty good, but it took, like, no joke, 18 hours to upload. So... I'm going on the lower setting this time. It's kind of sad because YouTube itself is what obliterates the VOD quality, so I can't really do a whole lot about that until I unlock the ability to use the other resolution, not 1080p, 2160 or whatever. So can't do much until then, but that's fine. Yeah, we shouldn't be going over here. We should go down here. But that's fine. It still is an improvement. But if it takes too long to upload the VODs because of that, then I might have to scrap that idea, unfortunately. Usually, like, exporting from Twitch to YouTube is fairly simple, and it takes like a few hours, up to 8 sometimes, but you don't have to leave your stuff on while it's uploading. But if you upload a local recorded video, you have to leave your computer on while the uploading is completing, so that's kind of a drag when it's 18 hours. I forgot to mention as well, I'll talk about it a little bit more after this boss fight, but one of the things that makes the Great Katanas really good is that they have like a mix of poking attacks that do piercing damage. This fight's gonna be terrible in the real version, by the way. I'm just gonna keep healing until I get full health. There we go. Okay. Gold-free trolled a lot for some reason. I don't know why. That was the worst RNG I've ever seen on Gold-free, but it's Gold-free, so he still dies super easy. It's just amusing. But yeah, the Great Katana is really awesome because obviously you have built-in bleed, but you also do a mix of poking attacks, which do pierce damage, and that's pretty awesome. Pierce damage is amazing. Have we even done a pierce damage run yet? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of all the weapons we've done. Hey, Scary, how you doing? I don't remember if Venomous Fang was pierce damage or strike. I don't remember. Probably strike damage still, but actually I don't know. But pierce damage is really good. But definitely the best damage type in the game. Especially if you have good poise. Sorry about that. Let's go into Dex some more. And we'll fight Morgott. Yeah. Doing good? You're doing? That's what's up. Same. I'm doing pretty good. Okay. Boom. Morgott's gonna be a little weird to get the stance attacks off, but not too horrible. We got double hit on him. He's about to phase, so gotta be a little careful. Well, that's a persistent hitbox. Boom. He's the last easy boss in this run.
Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Okay. Next up is gonna be the Fire Giant, most likely. I might actually do Commander Neil first, though. We'll see. Blood-sucking tier is kind of risky for Commander Neil, though, because he hits so hard. Like, I could straight up die with blood-sucking, so I might not use that.
Hello again. Allow me. You were unable to and prevented the thorns. A husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide you.
Blood-sucking is going to be less and less viable as we go on.
Shall I let my hand share them with me?
No, not strength.
Your ambition.
Well, it's getting close. They're getting close to being equivalent. Okay. Let's head over to Fire Giant and possibly Commander Neil. Maybe we should just save Commander Neil like we usually do for after Farah Missoula, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know what tier I'd use besides Bloodsucking, though. It doesn't really matter. Maybe the stance break one. But the stance damage is not amazing on Great Katana over at stance, so it's not a humongous gain. Successive attacks isn't really a huge thing either, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just run with the blood-sucking and see how it goes. Man, Fire Giant's gonna be freaking terrible. I can already tell. Fire Giant always sucks though, so nothing new there, I guess. Now with Fire Giant, it's interesting because I can pretty much constantly have my stance up, so two-handed sword talisman is kind of irrelevant, so I'm actually gonna put Flame Drake +3 from the DLC probably on. That'll greatly lower my damage taken from his fire stuff. In New Game Plus, you do have to start thinking about that because there are times where certain bosses can legit one-shot you if you're not careful, so yeah. I did forget to get the 100% health you get damage reduction talisman. I forget what it's called. In my template stuff, so I don't have that right now. I don't want to go get it either, but that'd also be a pretty viable option. That'd also be really good for Horaloo as well, because his grabs they don't do any damage until impact, and it's just one giant hit. So that defense talisman is really good. Super, super good, actually. Retreat's favor. We got a little HP it increases me by. It's so sad, dude. It's so freaking sad. I might try to fight the Black Blade Kindred here just for funsies, but it's kind of hard, so I don't know. It's the Twin Blade variant, which is a lot harder than the Axe and Dagger one. Or I guess it'd be... Yeah, it is an Axe and Dagger one, yeah. The Great Axe phase is pretty easy, but the Twin Blade phase is pretty not good. He'll friggin' rock my world, but we'll try, I mean, may as well try. For him, I'll go back to two-handed sword talisman then. Ooh. Little guys here. Okay. I forgot these have Beast Claw. Trying to kill me in menus, dude. That's so cringe. Oh, didn't work. Okay, two-handed sword talisman. Flash our flask here. Got the teardrop scarab tutorial there in New Game Plus. Awesome. Okay, there he is. Gotta be real careful about his ultimate on his Twin Blade. There it is. Boom, okay, we survived it. Only singles for him, unfortunately. He's too fast. All I did is roar, kick. It's unfortunate. We definitely kill him. We definitely kill him. Just bad RNG as usual. Okay. Here we go. If he doesn't do that this time, I'm not even gonna count that death. That's just bad RNG. Can I, this hit? Oh, okay. Oops. Oh, hold on. Kind of glitching because he's dancing around the pole like a stripper. What's up? Yeah, he's not even gonna do it this time. Heck. Not counted then. That's what's up. Alright. It's bad RNG, nothing to see here. And you get 2 really mid weapons as a result of killing that guy. But you get a lot of runes though, so I would recommend people fight him in New Game. You get a bunch of runes. That's not even my first death, by the way. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but I did do the runaround in the DLC. We weren't grabbing scattertrees, we were just collecting waypoints so we could just warp to bosses. And I did die at one point while doing that, so just full disclosure. This is my first death. Okay, let's go to Fire Giant. We'll put on Flame Drake Talisman so the second phase I don't get one shot, at least hopefully not. Guess we'll see. I hope I one-shot Fire Giant, but it might take a while because he hits pretty hard on New Game Plus. And he has a ton of HP, but at least I have bleed this time. That was the rough thing about the Star Scourge run. I think the Star Scourge run had the longest Fire Giant I've ever had on stream. Because there's like nothing you can do to health. The weapon art barely does anything. The terrible range isn't good. There's no status effects. Nothing, dude. At least it's not a fire weapon, though. When I start doing the fire weapons at some point, Fire Giant's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be really, really bad. I wonder if I should take off the Bloodsucking Tear for Fire Giant as well. From here on out, it gets really risky to use. But I'll play with it and see how it goes. I could cheese and use like regenerative spells to counteract it, but I don't want to use spells because, you know, magic is kind of whatever, right? It could win the game for you. So I want to deal with it like raw dog style. But if you were doing a New Game Plus run of Bloodsucking Tear casually, then I would recommend you use one of the regenerative incantations or something along those lines to offset the damage from the tier. Like I said before, though, there's like a weird bug as well where the damage is susceptible to iframes, so if you dodge roll at the right time, you won't take a tick, which is like super weird. I don't know why that is. Borealis is a terrible fight on New Game Plus, so I'm not even gonna bother. What level are we right now, by the way, as well? 175? Okay. Good. I think I got like one level while running around the DLC, because I killed like 2 enemies and I got a bunch of rune stuff. But that's it. No bosses killed in the DLC yet, as usual. Golly, these guys. Okay. We'll save all the DLC bosses for day 3, like we always do. Do all the base game stuff on its own, and then all the DLC stuff. Because it is New Game Plus, I could go get a second Great Katana now. That is in the rule set. But you don't really power stance Great Katanas. They're probably better off being two-handed. So I guess it is an option, though, if you really want to. I don't really remember the moveset that much, but I don't think it's anything spectacular. Even power stancing regular katana is not amazing. It's not the worst, obviously, but in general, for power stance, if you want to gauge its effectiveness, if the weapons attack simultaneously, it's really good. And if the weapons attack multiple times in one press, it's really good. Like the Twin Blades run, the jump attacks did 4 attacks per 1 hit. So that was really good. And there are some other weapons that attack simultaneously as well, like spears. Although I don't think you really power stance those too often, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna try bloodsucking with our boy here, but I'm gonna close the gap first because his initial attack can like murder me for some reason. I'll do Golden Vow though. Yep. It's dumb that you can't jump over it, even though it's clearly a ground effect, but whatever. Okay. We gotta hit this a bunch. I've been hitting him really hard on that foot. I detonate that, that sucks. Ooh. Good. That is one crazy hitbox, my dude. Okay, there we go. Gotta be real careful here. Oh. Holy cow, you saw how hard that hit, dude? That is wild. Okay, two orbs. Here, roll. There we go. Doing good so far. The blood sucking is taking up a lot of flash though. GG. I'm glad we one-shot him, because, dude, Fire Giant is rough. Fire Giant is rough as heck. But you see there how much blood-sucking really messes you up? You get a ton of flasks just lost. Just by healing. I think half the flasks I used there were literally just from blood-sucking. The other half were almost getting one-shot. If you roll back the VOD, I almost got a freaking one-shot there, or wombo. Technically, I think it was 2 hits that hit me. From 100% health to 20. Crazy. From here on out, all the bosses are mostly as they should be, although their health is going to be a little bit lower, relatively speaking. I'm going to do more damage than in a new game run, obviously, so they're going to die a little bit faster, but they're still going to have a lot of health, and they're going to do a ton of damage, so it's going to be interesting, for sure. We're at the point where strength's better. We're real close to that point, if not. Can I do Fortisax after zoning into Farum Azula, or do I have to beat Farum Azula? Let me check. I always forget that. But we can do the parkour down there now, for sure. From the Frenzied Flame dungeon. I'm thinking for the other 2 Great Katanas, when I do those eventually, I'm gonna branch out a bit. I could do like a skill build with all 3, because all 3 of the skills are good. Wheat Cutter's good, and the Dragon Slash one is really good, actually, especially against dragons. But I might switch it up a little bit by doing like a guard counter build for one of them. Golly, they all ulted, actually. That's wild. Surprising I got hit once there. You can do guard counter builds with Great Katanas. It's not too bad, actually. The best guard counter builds in the game are with two-handers, so among those, the big bonk sticks are really good, but Great Katana's not too bad for it. It'd be kind of fun to do a guard counter build, I think. It's a bit non-standard to do with a Great Katana, but that's fine as well. Where are we going? Oh yeah, the Cathedral of the Forsaken. Let's see if we can kill Fortisax right now. Now, Fortisax should get mowed down by this weapon, but who knows? We'll see, I guess. I can also use my stance pretty regularly on him, so I'll just do Bolt Drake Talisman then, so I don't get owned by his lightning. Okay. I take a weird route to go down here. I go this way. Go over there too. There's no point though. Let's drop down. Okay, actually I can drop down here and be safer. Boom. Here. I think I could make that jump across to that this platform directly, but you know. Kind of insane to try that. Okay. It's boom. Not doing Frenzied Flame Ending, obviously. I think we even can now that we sacrifice Melina. This is a Rune Arc, right? This might be useful. Boom. Okay. We can definitely kill Fia's champions right now, but I'm not 100% if we can kill Fortisax or not. Or if he's, like, available. But we'll try, nonetheless. You know what would be a good tier that I actually don't have, I don't think? The damage reduction tier. That's just all around good. So maybe I'll do that instead of bloodsucking. Because I'm not a no-hit runner or anything, so... For an average layman like me, the Opaline Hard tier, I think it's what it's called, it's pretty good. Not the one-time one, but the one that lasts like minutes. Here, I'll explain when I get to the area in a second. Okay, here we go. Let's switch up our tier. If I don't have it, I'll just go get it, but... Let's see. I do have it, okay. So this Opaline Archer, I think it's 3 minutes, and you get 20% damage negation, which is pretty good. So I probably am going to rock this instead of Bloodsucking from now on, because Bloodsucking will get me killed more often than not. In fact, I think when I died, it was because of Bloodsucking, so... Not gonna worry about that. Now there is the bubble, or this one, yeah, the bubble tier, where you get one hit of negation and it's 90%. Generally, that's a lot worse than Opaline hard tier, because like this will negate so much damage for you. And then you could also proc the bubble tier on like something minor like Moog's Flame or something, and it's completely useless. I don't know why so many new players run this. It's so bad, actually. It's like one of the worst tiers in the game, straight up. The only use for this tier, this bubble tier, is to dodge certain attacks that are like nearly impossible. Like the freaking Metter laser from the DLC, you know, like that she goes in the air and then there's those two freaking rotating lasers. You could eat the first one with a bubble tier, and that helps out a lot. Like stuff like that. Dodging single instances like huge damage. But for general purpose, like, dude, bubble tier is so bad. I don't know why people are addicted to running that. Like, straight up. It's so strange to me. Okay. Let's do this. Our pre-buffs are ready. Let's fight Fia's champions. Usually they can't really deal with the heavy attack, so I'm going to hope that they can't this time as well. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I caught him. Okay. That's what's up. Nice. Oh shit, he can cast Rancor. Oh! Gotta be real careful of that. Easily just spamming it. Cool, dude. Alright. Oh, him on his own, he's gonna get murdered. That's what's up. Doesn't matter how much you can spam Rancor. Boom. Okay. Oh, she is here. Okay, then I guess you just have to enter Farah Missoula.
What is it to deny like the dog? You are, I am, but they call yet.
Well, let's fight Fortisax then. So we gotta do a lot of dialogue manipulation with her first, but we can actually fight Fortisax, so let's go ahead and do that. I got a memory hole that committed to my mind that you just have to enter Farah Missoula for her to be here. We already got the rune from last time, day 1, so... We have to finish dialogue here, rest, finish dialogue with her again, rest, and then we can fight. Good old Fortisax, Fortissussy.
Brandish stay that I become.
Let's fix our talismans as well. There we go. I don't remember if ancient dragons can bleed or not. So I'm not sure if I'm min-maxing because I do have the Lord of Blood stuff on, but whatever. We should be able to kill Fortisax no matter what.
This is what I choose and I will who will in it. What great. This is what I choose and I will who will in it. What great.
Okay. She should be gone now. Yep, okay. So, how should we do this? Should we pre-buff right now? Yes, so. Alright, 4 to sacks. Shouldn't be that insane, but guess we'll see. It's gonna be hard to land triples on him. So I'm gonna go for singles mostly. But we can be bled, okay. We phased him. At like 2 health. That's awesome. That was a pretty clean fight. I only got hit like once. So that's what's up. Vortex is pretty simple if you just stay to his hind legs as much as you can. Just like every ancient dragon. Although the camera can be a little hard to manipulate, I wouldn't lock on either. It's one of the fights where I wouldn't lock on personally. But yeah. Shame, too, because he has one of the best OSTs in the game, but you never hear it because he just dies so quickly. I'm really curious if strength is better at this point. I'm going to hold on to runes, actually, for a little bit and see. Because we got Godskin next, and I could actually test. I didn't go too hard into the calculations, so I'm not actually sure. This weapon's fun though. As much crap as I give the DLC for being mid, in terms of the enemy design, which it is, absolutely. I'm not gonna freaking back down from that. The enemy design is terrible in the DLC. Oh my goodness, I love how they ult immediately. The enemy design is garbage in the DLC, but the weapons are pretty good for the most part. I even have a soft spot for perfume bottles, even though they're pretty goofy weapons. I'm actually greatly looking forward to doing the perfume bottles runs. It's gonna be so jank. They're not good, but they're so cool. Like, that's the one thing that matters, right? Not that the weapon's good, but that's actually a cool weapon. But you build those super weird too. You got like dash attacks. It's such a weird freaking weapon. Okay. Godskin time. Woo! As usual, we gotta just separate them and then we should be fine. They're kind of separated right now. There we go. We should kill the tall one and then we're good. I'm actually Golden Bow again. Yeah, let's Golden Bow again. There we go. Good, good. Excellent, excellent. Let's spawn camp these chuds. Where you at? Oh, I moved. Okay. There we go. GG. You just gotta separate them, and it's not too bad. Heck yeah. Let's actually get the waypoint this time, though, before we forget. I kind of want to fight the Crucible Knight up here, too, just so we have, like, a Crucible fight with the Great Katana. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, moment of truth. The strength is actually better than Dex up to, like, 20, I believe it is. Let's see. That goes up to 34. It's real close, dudes. Okay, we'll hold on to the runes again. We'll fight Crucible Boy over here, I suppose. We'll hold on to those runes. I really am curious. They're practically the same, but I'm gonna min-max every point I can, dude. Screw it. Don't need to do Alexander stuff, obviously, because we're New Game Plus, so not gonna bother with him. There he is, dudes. There he is. It's gonna be hard to get the stand stuff on him. Other than this opening where you can. Okay. Oh yeah. This is the fire breathing one, the more annoying freaking Crucible. He's stuck. Yeah. GG, dudes. GG. You have to just back up when he does like the back. When he does his backup flame, you back up. When he does the other one where he doesn't back up, you just strafe him and then punish him. It's pretty simple. Get 35. They're basically the same. Look at that. They are basically equivalent. So I guess I'll just go into Dex until 55 or whatever. And then Strength the rest of the way. I should have tested if Arcane is still better above 80, but I'm like 95% sure it isn't, because like the DRs are crazy. Don't need to kill that dragon this time. We have all the upgrades, so we're good. Oh, Mega Wombo here. Okay, did not. Good. We'll fight the Draconic Tree Sentinel, and then we'll fight Placidus Axe. And then Malekith. That'll be what we do. I could just run past Draconic, but I think people like to see me fight that, and just like seeing people fight that in general, because it is a traditionally hard enemy, but... yeah, we'll just go ahead and fight him. Let me check something real quick. Yeah. Our physique is indeed good. I thought I replaced the stamina part with something else, but luckily I did not. That's what's up. Oh yeah, I should mention also, you should have something in your offhand if you're min-maxing, like the turtle shell shield. You could have that in... I do have it, right? I should. Yeah. This gives you a teensy amount of stamina recovery speed if you put it on your back, so even if I'm two-handing, you get stamina recovery speed, but literally I don't use it just because it looks goofy. That's it. You should, though. You should use it, for sure. Now for these guys, stay on the shield side and the fight gets way easier. I can't really Rolana though, but that's fine. You can sometimes do it like there. Boom. Easy breezy. Obviously, if you have status effects, you'll just murder those guys. They're weak to bleed, like most things, and they're super weak to rot as well, if you have that. Nice little no damage there. Placidus Axe time. Woo! Man. Placidus Axe, sorry, should be cake because he's so slow. I can just spam heavies on him basically. Even when he's doing the triple like lightning AoE, I think I can get Rolana light attacks off on him and still have time to get away. But the trade-off is I think he has some moves that could one-shot me, so hopefully that hard tier pays off and carries me through the game. So you can go over to like this pillar, not aggro him. Boom. Okay. You do that real fast, kick. He's gonna fly now. Yeah. Okay, golden bow again. this up. Okay, he's doing this now. I can do this, do that. I think you gotta strafe that. Oh, he's doing this again? Okay. He might be dead, actually. I don't know. He's doing his lasers. Okay. I'm definitely golden bowing again. Alright, good. We dodged. That mind is really putting in work in this fight. I did not expect that. GG. Only one hit, that's what's up. Pretty good. Well, Placidus Axe is pretty easy. Even though he's an epic fight, it's pretty easy, honestly, so not a huge deal. On to Malekith. For some reason, I struggle so hard on the second phase, or the first phase, actually, not the second phase. The second phase can get murdered this time with this weapon, but first phase, no. Unfortunately not. First phase is gonna mess me up pretty bad. I can almost never get a Rolana's like combo in the first phase. There's like one opening where you can. And that's when he does that big like dagger in the ground and he sweeps it. You can get behind him and get a good combo there, but that's it, literally. So I'm gonna have to just grind him down. And then in phase 2 he'll die pretty quick. But so will I, so this will be interesting. That. Oh, here it is, here it is. That is the only time I can actually think of getting a Rolana's off. Oh. That was a little too early. Let's just phase him quick. The longer he's in this phase, the worse off we are. There we go, okay. Oh, he bugged. Heck. He does that sometimes. GG. Yeah, phase 2 is really easy, actually. A lot of people are intimidated by him because he does hit hard and he has that death and death effect, but the thing with Malekith is he has really, really low HP. Like, it is crazy how low his HP is. So if you know the openings, you can just murder him in like 10 seconds. It's like really funny. I'm actually gonna go kill Gideon right now because I don't want to deal with his stupid freaking garbage later. So I'll go kill Gideon, but we're gonna save the other bosses for later. Or maybe we should just save Gideon like we always do. Should I be different? Or should I be a sheep? You know what? I'm gonna be a sheep today. We'll leave Gideon after millennia. Okay, time for the walking segment. Heck yeah, dude. Got a lot of walking to do. Or I guess riding in this case. Followed by more riding, followed by walking to get to Millennia. There used to be a fast way down here, but I think it's long patched. So I gotta go all the way around. Unfortunate. Can you land on that tower, though? I'm curious. I'll do some research on that later. It's a morbid curiosity, but yeah. The Deathrite bird spawned. You could hear him, but for some reason the boss didn't trigger. Kind of weird. Okay. Is it still? They're like neck and neck, dude. It's crazy. And Arcane is... Maybe Arcane is better. Isn't that crazy? Arcane might be slightly better. But they're all practically equivalent. But you saw there, 2 points in Arcane was more than 2 points in Dex, so... We got the Divine Beasts on us, but it should be fine. I guess those Divine Lions, technically. Ooh. That's what's up. Boom, 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 boom. Now, Commander Neil is actually a genuinely difficult fight. But he does have a very easy opening. Let's reset the position of those guys. He has a very easy opening on his ground slam when he's like in the air and he slams with his prosthetic leg. If you land behind him, he'll do the double poke, or I guess it's a poke and a slash, where he pokes behind him, then he slashes. If you dodge the poke and land on his left, the slash will whiff. It's like Moog, but like the opposite direction for him. So if you dodge the poke, you can get a fully charged like anything on him. It's actually really good. So that is the basis for hitting him, essentially. Phase 2. We will activate the whatever. I will also reset these guys again so I can get my pre-buffs up. Sorry for that, but, you know, this guy's actually pretty hard. He's one of the harder fights in the game, honestly. Like, straight up. Just because he hits so hard. In fact, you know what? Because he hits so hard... Oh, I didn't even get rid of my Bolt Drake. Whoops. But for Malekith, but it doesn't matter. We'll keep that on, because he hits really hard with that freaking leg, so... We're gonna keep that on, boys. For sure. For sure, for sure. Alright, we murdered the shield one immediately, that's good. There we go. Good free hit on him there. Another golden vow. Let me see if I can get the opening here. No, unfortunately. Here we go. Do it, do it, do it. No, he didn't. Okay. We'll fight him straight up then. Okay, there we go. Wow, that actually hit me. That's crazy. You can also hit him here, I forgot. He like RPs. Ooh, good bleed proc. There we go. There it is. There it is. Excellent. Yeah, he's spamming that. That's what's up. I was too far away. We still hit him though. Boom. Heck yeah. Veterans prosthesis. We'll do a run with that someday, but it's not an amazing weapon, unfortunately. You know, put it on your leg or something. That'd be so cool. It was actually on your leg and you'd freaking kick the heck out of people. Like Akiyama for freaking Yakuza, but nope. No such luck, dudes. Okay, we got the Hallow Tree medallion half. We already have the other half from day one, or at least we should. Yeah, we did go to Albinus. So we can go to Consecrated Snowfield now. Don't hit the wrong prompt here, please. Please, dude. There we go. Took 2 presses that time for some reason. I wish I could just warp to Millennia, but nah. It would be possible, technically, to end day 1s on fighting Commander O'Neill. Not Commander O'Neill, the other one. Commander Neil. And then cut out the running to Millennia, like I cut out the DLC run, but I don't know. I don't want to cut out all the running, because then at a certain point the run becomes a little bit inauthentic, you know? But would be nice, for sure. It would shorten the stream by a lot, actually, because running to Millennia is like 30 to 45 minutes of just doing that stuff. Okay. I was going to sit down and use my runes, but guess not. You have to fight Loretta as well, anyway, and you have to do a puzzle to get to Millennia, so nah. But I do like skipping the DLC stuff, because it's literally no puzzles, no anything. You're just running all the way. It's funny, because if I left in the running around... I've been cleaning the DLC out... oh, this is not good, actually. Oh, we should be fine. I've been cleaning out the DLC in 2 hours, basically. Pretty consistently in recent runs. The time it takes me to get all those scatter trees is like 2 hours to 2.5 hours, so if I didn't get rid of all the running, it would literally be half of the stream, over half, would be just running. Because remember, I do a little bit of running still in day 3s when I'm doing the DLC rushes, because I still have to run to Midra and Bale, and obviously Promise Consort. So there is still some running there, also. Oh, we got the NPC Invader. Kick. So if I didn't cut that out, legit... over half of the stream would be just running, so isn't that freaking terrible? Oof, good bleed proc. Now for Loretti, I guess you can stance her a bit, but I could also do the Spelldrake Talisman. I guess I'll do that for safety. But yeah, that's why I get rid of the. Where am I going? I'm going west. I get rid of the running during the DLC because if I do not, that stream would literally be over 50% running, literally, and that's so boring. That's like insanely boring. It's not like that in base Elden Ring because I front load all the running to get like flask stuff, and that takes like an hour and a half usually. Getting to the weapon can take like 30 minutes too, so that's like 2 hours in total. And then I'm mostly just going from boss to boss. There's also Ronnie stuff too. So it's mostly, the running's like 20% of the run, maybe 30% depending on how fast I go. But with the DLC, it goes up to 60%. Which is like way too dumb, so. The only time I'm gonna stream the running again will likely be on challenge runs where in good faith I have to stream everything. So when I do my challenge run for this game, which will probably be the crossbow run, please help me when that happens, by the way. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be miserable. When I do that run, I'll stream the DLC running, but yeah. Besides that, I'm really enjoying actually not streaming it since, first of all, it doesn't bog down the stream, and second of all, I can put on a video in the background and just jam out, honestly. Listen to some video essay about Scooby-Doo, which is literally what I did last time. Night of 100 Frights, dude. Goated game from my childhood, and then I saw a, what's his name, actually? Let me pull up his name real quick. Mortal, yeah. One of the best runners in that game. Dude, those videos are fire. So I do stuff like that when I... do the DLC run, and it's pretty enjoyable. I can't do that, obviously, if it's streamed, and nobody cares about it anyway, so it's a win-win, basically. But enough yapping about that. Let's focus on this dumb puzzle. The route I'm going is the most consistent one that I found. It doesn't get me murdered by invisible people or archers, so I always go this route. There's probably a faster one, but I just don't want to deal with getting massacred by these guys, so. Yeah. Now, I know for a fact Elden Beast is immune to... Holy cow. Crazy. That is so hard. Elden Beast is immune to status? I don't know if Radagon is, actually. So... In fact, I'm gonna look that up right now, before I forget. Because that's gonna influence, obviously, what I build for. Yeah, he is immune to bleed. Okay, so I gotta take off all my bleed stuff. I think he's only immune to bleed. He's, like, weak to everything else. Kick. So I'll take off White Mask for Rakshasa, then I'll take off Lord of Blood's Exaltation for something else. I don't know what yet. I'm not gonna respec from a Colt or anything, although if you were like really min-maxing and you were struggling on Radagon, you should, if you're like doing a bleed build, of course, you should respec to like Keen or Quality. In new game, probably just Keen. To help you out with those guys, because a Colt, the reason it's so good is that it double dips, so you have your regular scaling with the stat like you do with Keen and the others with Arcane, but you also have the bleed buildup, but you don't have that advantage anymore if you're fighting bleed immune enemies, so it's important to like respec in those situations if you're stuck, because then you can go like a heavy infusion and then you can buff your weapon, or a keen and buff your weapon, so on and so on. Put on Crag Blade to help out, do things like that, you know. Do we really just go 99 arcane for this run? Because it seems to be really good, even better than like the dex stuff. I guess we do. But we're not going to go off of Occult for Radagon and all them, because honestly, it doesn't matter that much. They're not going to be super, super hard, so... I'm still using Overhead Stance anyways. I'm not going to switch to Crag Blade, so yeah. We'll just deal with it. Pick up the rune here. Okay. Wow, we avoid rot. Crazy. There is a fast way down this tree by using a parry bug, but I've never done it before and it's kind of janky, so I'll just go the normal way like I always go. Can I cheese this? I don't think so. Ooh, that was close. Swag? Yep. There we go. Heck yeah. I think you can make it to that ledge over there, but I'm not 100%. That would be pretty convenient, though. Okay. We're out of time. Yeah, we got everything. Good. Phase him. We want to phase when there's no Glint Blades out, preferably. Yep. He did her wombo on me. That's the Loretta wombo, the infamous one. Holy cow, she's being annoying as heck. Okay. We'll stall out, that's fine. You don't want to phase with the Glint Blades because it's easy to hit her. Well, she just recast them anyways. There we go. Kind of a scuffed version of that, but that works. She was trolling really badly, actually. If you phase her without Glint Blades, she'll either do what she did there, which is the bad RNG, where she summons the Glint Blades again before she phases, but you can still, like, stun lock her, like what I just did. Or she'll just go into phase 2, and that animation's so long, you just wombo on her. Sometimes you can even stagger her, so. And if she doesn't have Glint Blades, she'll prioritize that, so after that animation, she'll do another one where she tries to get Glint Blades up, so most of the time, at least. You can pretty much just murder her HP like crazy if you're smart about it. That was me getting trolled a bunch and we still murdered her, so that's what's up. Alright, let's head over to... Oh. That was actually kind of close. Head over to Millennia. You just avoid that for now. That was one quick attack. Try to make this fast, but you know, can be a little bit long at times. I haven't been hit there yet, but I'm just bracing for it. I suck really bad. I don't think we need to kill these guys, but screw it. You can just go up here. Well, you know what I am gonna do though? Hold on. Before I forget, it's gonna seem really random, but I'm gonna buy some Scarlet Rot boluses. Which I usually don't do, but in New Game Plus, anything can happen, so I'm gonna go get those, because I didn't get them in my template character. That was my mistake. I'm gonna go back and do that after this run is done. But there is a vendor here that sells some. I think he sells like 4. Maybe 3. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And then we'll do that behind the scenes in the template character so I never have to do it again on New Game Plus runs. They'll just be in my inventory. If Millennia Scarlet Rots you in Phase 2, you're pretty much done. Like, it's over. Because that rod is insane. So, you need to bolus it off or you're just cooked. Also, you can use the spell. I forget which spell takes it off, but... yeah. I don't have that. Is it Flame Cleanse Me that gives me rot immunity? I don't remember. Oh well. But the merchant's somewhere nearby. Should get back on the main road. I think he's by the shoreline as well. Infinite combat. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there he is. Okay.
Welcome.
Dear customer.
Yes, right this way. Well, are you please? I'm hungry.
Yeah, 3 boluses. If I need more than that, then something went horribly wrong. Straight up. Something went really wrong, because that's like 3 separate attempts. Because you're not going to get to rot it twice. You're probably just going to die at that point. Okay, I guess we go 99 Arcane. This time. That's kind of weird, but... whatever. Supposedly it's slightly better, so screw it. Didn't aggro that guy this time. Awesome. We do have to kill this dude or he'll just murder us as we're walking across. So... we go. Another golden vow as we go across here. We're able to run? The frick? Why were we able to run there? What? I noticed the animation for the roll was normal, and I was like, why are you able to run? Usually you're over encumbered there. Oh, is it because, like, is my weight low enough? I don't know the exact mechanics of that. Shoot, dude. I want to illusory wall and make a vid about that. That'd be awesome, unironically. He's doing his Dark Souls sound series right now, which is pretty fire so far. Episode 1 was super cool. It's not sound, but detection, because he's going to do smell next. It'd be cool to meet him someday. Hopefully I get consistent enough where I can meet him as a content creator. That'd be so cool. Maybe do some night rain runs with him. That's the dream, boys. That's the dream. Okay. Millennia. Alright, so for Millennia, I wonder what I should do, actually. Just go full damage, I suppose? She can be bled, so that's fine. I guess you just go full damage. Except for blood sucking, obviously, because, like, you know, screw that. I'm not really a huge fan of blood sucking, but it is really good for the early game, as you saw in day 1, so. It's also really good for one-shot builds, but I don't usually do this. Alright, well, Golden Vow will not use our flask yet. Mostly gonna use singles on her, not triples, but we'll see. I could punish her there. And there. Dick. Boom. We should be in range of Water Vow, so I'm gonna back off of her a little bit. I'm gonna wait for it, actually. I know I'm a bit of a cuck, but whatever. Or maybe I could hit her here, actually. No. Oh, she's gonna do it now for sure. 100% she's doing that garbage. Good thing she didn't do it there, because I was against the wall. That would have been bad. Come on, do it. It's like that meme poking the guy. Come on, do something. There we go, okay. There we go. Now she's on cooldown for a little bit. I can get a triple on her sometimes, but it's gonna be pretty hard in general. I thought I outranged that, but did not. She's really passive besides that, though. Look at that. I don't know why she's being super passive like that. Okay. Let's heal up. We got all our pre-buffs up. That's what's up. I'm gonna greed this. Boom. Actually worked out crazy. Okay, she's doing that pretty early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not a true opening, but it kind of is. We run into this? Alright, this is the opening where you can get a triple on her. Boom. Okay, golden bow. I'm actually gonna just use my flask here. There we go. Huh. That's weird. She just let me follow up on her. Heal for safety. I'm a little bit of a coward here. Oh, wow. Okay. She got mowed down. I wasn't tracking my blood loss buildup. But, yeah, she got completely freaking gobsmacked. She was super passive that time. Is she even water fountain phase 2?
I'm sorry.
That's crazy, dudes. Okay, well, time for Godfrey and Horaloo. Not Godfrey. Freaking... What's his name? Gideon and Horaloo. There you go. Let's see this, dude. Yeah, look at that. Arcane is still better. Isn't that crazy? Arcane is better above 80, dude. Wild. Now, you could argue that Endurance is better at this point for more stamina. So, you know what? Maybe... Let me do a rare respec here. I'm curious. We're sciencing, because we're going to finish this stream really early at this rate. So, I'm sciencing right now. Let's take a look at something real quick. So, let's go Vigor here. How much damage do I actually lose if I just go into Endurance instead of... what I've been doing. So we lose 12 of damage. 12. I think Endurance might actually be better at this point. For more stamina. Huh. That's kind of a surprising development, huh? I don't know, honestly. It's so... At this point, levels don't really mean anything, huh? I guess we'll stay at 40 dex. Well, I guess we won't do that. We'll actually go to Arcane because it's better, but... At what point does it cease to be better, I wonder? Big science hours, dudes. Like 99 Arcane kick. Yeah, we pretty much hit the damage cap. I mean, you could go a little bit more for damage, but I don't know, dude. I honestly do not know. Does it matter? No, it does not matter at all, but whatever. I guess I would recommend people would max their stats out still, because damage is damage, but... And max stamina isn't really a huge deal, but... Whatever, right? Like, it doesn't matter too much. I'll do some sciencing. You're comparing like a pea to a pebble, essentially. Like, who cares? You're all tiny in the grand scheme of things. Alright, hopefully Gideon doesn't murder me. He has a non-zero chance of doing that. I think we get a backstab on him, and then we do a triple Ichimonji, overhead stance, whatever. And hope I can stick to him before he casts anything. Also get rid of the Scarlet Boluses. Actually, we can keep the mod. Maybe they'll be useful for Ramana or something. I've been fumbling that fight real bad recently. Ah, I knew you'd come.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring.
Shut up, Seth.
To become Elden. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit to the last. None shall take the throne. My bones are tarnished. Cannot become a lord.
Gideon is such a freaking cockadoo. This fight's gonna be terrible during the challenge run. I can't wait, dude.
Cannot kill a god.
Okay. Horaloo might mess me up bad, dudes. He might. I can't wait to freaking see. Man, the damage is so mid. I'm so conflicted on how to level up. Like, literally a 1 point of damage. So if I get 20 more levels this whole run, that is 20 points of damage. I have 730. That is like 2%, right? 2% damage. I guess damage is damage, right? But yeah, I guess so. My stamina bar, this should be good enough. Like, look how good that stamina bar is. So good. That should be more than fine. Okay, let's pre-buff here. Stuff's looking good. Actually, I might want to replace this with jump attacks, but I guess two-handed sword talons is better. Anyways. I'm surprised that missed. He's a little fast, so it's hard to hit him. I don't know why he keeps missing. Like his weird attack there. I guess because I'm like narrowing my hitbox very slightly. Oh, he's doing this attack. Okay. I'm actually gonna take this opportunity to golden bow again. Boom. That's gonna be relevant in a second. Heal up. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was so delayed. Okay. There we go. Luckily we blitzed him and we got our pre-buffs up before phase 2. Or he would have murdered me. 100%. Like 100,000,000%. Okay. And now these next two bosses are bleed immune, so I am curious on how to deal with that, honestly. Let's also use all our runes that we've built up to this point. I do have some runes from the DLC from walking around. Not too great, though. I skipped most of the bigger ones intentionally. Did we kill every boss besides Radagon and Elden Beast? It looks like it, right? Yeah. Oops. Every Remembrance boss, that is, which is the usual rules for this run. So like I said earlier, not going to spec out of a Colt, even though it probably would be min-max to do so. I'm going to stick to a Colt. However, I will get rid of my bleed stuff, so we'll put on a Rakshasa Helm. And for this, I guess, it might be good to put on Millicents, honestly. Like, in terms of raw damage, that might be the best choice. So we could do the holy negation stuff as well. You know what, let's do the holy negation stuff, so Radagon doesn't murder me. Golden Braid. I'm more scared about Radagon than Elden Beast at this point, so I'm going to put on Flask of Physic at the start. So, yeah. Also less downtime, because I'm not running around like a madman. Everything good here? Yep. I was thinking putting on the jump attack talisman. That'd be pretty okay too, instead of Golden Braid, but I want to be safe, so. Well, I think I can triple there, actually. Oh, this is the worst combo. At least he opened with that. I forgot I could fast out of that. Good, good, good. Ooh, stance break. Heck yeah, dude. Alright. That was actually pretty good. Honestly. Okay, for this, you just gotta run behind him. I missed the sliding attack. Let's just get the tier up there. Boom. You'll need Torrent for this, but it helps out a lot, so boom. Woo! It's one of the worst attacks you can do. Okay. Let's see what he does here. Okay, good. He did the good RNG move. Heck yep. That was grab. Doing all the rare moves, that's kind of cool. GG. GG. I think, like, most of the DLC bosses can be bled, so... Actually, going to put on my stuff again. I don't remember if there's anybody that can't be bled. Can the flower be bled? I'll take a look. Off stream, of course, but... Nice. Put on everything again. I got this. And then this was Lord of Blood's Exaltation. Okay, so that is base game done. Excellent. Let me level up and explain the build again before we leave. Because we're not doing DLC stuff right now, as per usual. But, yeah. I guess we'll just do decks for now on. Okay, so that is all Remembrances of bosses in the base game. Sorry, not the freaking DLC. What am I talking about? In the base game, done, all 15. So here they are. This run was a New Game Plus run because the Great Katana is a DLC weapon. So I started off at level 150 with all the talismans that I need. The goal was to simulate a realistic experience. It wasn't to be a challenge run. The goal is just to be realistic. So, just like my new game runs are realistic because they start at level 1, playing with these DLC weapons is realistic in New Game Plus because most people would find them in the DLC, which is at the very end of the game because they've already beaten the base game completely. And then they would finish the DLC with them if they liked it, and then they would do a whole New Game Plus run with them. So that's the reason why I started off. Now, honestly, this run was really easy, so maybe 150 is too high. Maybe I'll do like 100, but I'm not too sure. The base game's always going to be easy in New Game Plus, though, because the scaling does not match the scaling of your character, so I'm not going to start like level 1 or anything. I think it'll always be easy, so I'm not really sure, but we'll see. But for this run, I used an Occult Great Katana. I used a Great Katana because I wanted to. That's the basis of this run. I used an Occult Great Katana because the Great Katana has bleed on it, but it does not have arcane scaling, so long story short, if a weapon has innate bleed or poison, also sleeper bandits, but who cares about that? But innate bleed or poison, but no arcane scaling, then investment into the arcane stat does not increase the blood loss buildup. Okay? In order for the blood loss buildup to scale with arcane on the weapon itself needs to scale with arcane. So for weapons that don't do that by default, like this Great Katana, you really should, if you're going for like a bleed build, focus on an infusion that gives you bleed scaling, aka arcane scaling. There's 3 of them: the blood infusion, the poison infusion, the occult infusion. Blood infusion is best on weapons that don't already have blood on them. So, not the best here. Poison is not an amazing infusion, so... Although, if you wanted to, you could do both blood loss and poison, if you wanted, but not amazing. Occult is the best infusion of the 3 for weapons with innate bleed, because it gives a humongous arcane scaling, whereas poison and blood give, like, D. This one's B, so... really good arcane scaling, and if the whole point of, like, doing this is investing in arcane, you want the highest scaling, so Occult's gonna be the best. But nothing's stopping you from doing the other 2. However, I like to be efficient, so I want Occult. You could also go... The alternate route is to go one of the traditional infusions, like Heavy, Keen, or Quality, which allows your weapon to be buffable, and then you run the Blood Flame Blade incantation. I think I do have that, actually, right? I could just show that right now. I'm going to wax on here because I have a lot of time left, so... Forgive me. You could go Blood Flame Blade and run heavy, keen, or quality. In this case, for a New Game Plus run, I think quality would be good for the Great Katana. And then you just run Blood Flame, which also gives you blood buildup. So if you didn't want to run a Colt, your alternate would be to run quality or keen on this Great Katana, and then keep Blood Flame Blade on your weapon. That actually would be better blood loss buildup, because the way Blood Flame Blade works is you hit them, and then instead of the blood loss decaying immediately, it actually builds slightly for 2 seconds. So that means it's a lot easier to prevent decay, which means it's a lot easier to proc bleed. So technically speaking, if you had 100% uptime, Blood Flame Blade would be better purely in terms of blood loss buildup, and it also gives you a teensy bit of fire damage on top. However, Blood Flame Blade can fall off. It only has like a minute duration, I think, and then you could like use the talisman to increase it further, but on longer fights it will fall off, and that's annoying because then you have to spend time reapplying it. You might get hit out of that animation, you might waste an opening trying to reapply it, and that's just like an annoying playstyle, so I typically don't do that. So that's why I tend to err on the occult side instead of the Blood Flame Blade side when I'm going for bleed builds. The only exception would be paired weapons, because the Blood Flame Blade will apply to both, so you pretty much get double the Blood Flame Blade. And only for paired weapons that do not do good stance damage. So if I was doing Starfist, for example, or Iron Ball or something, I'm going heavy with Cragblade. I'm not going bleed. So I think Blood Flame Blade would be pretty niche. So like when I do the claw runs, for example, that are not Venomous Fang, the other claws that are infusible, I'll probably do Blood Flame Blade. But for weapons like Great Katana, Occult. That was a bit of a tangent. Sorry about that, but you know, I think that needs to be out there because that's a pretty common question I see online. I have a dagger with Golden Vow as well. Obviously, really good pre-buff weapon. You can also buff it during boss fights if they're doing like a long RP. That's not going to really happen that much in the DLC, but it did happen here, so pretty good. Now, armor. I have White Mask on because when you proc a bleed with White Mask, it gives you, I think, 10% attack power for 20 seconds. Really good. The rest is Rakshasa. Every piece of Rakshasa gives you 2% damage done, including the helmet, but I have White Mask on because it's better for blood builds. But yeah, Rakshasa is BIS for most builds. I am aware of that, but I don't usually run it because running the same armor over and over again is pretty boring, so I'm going to switch it up occasionally. It's a bit hypocritical, because for all the jump attack builds, I'm going to run the chest armor, of course, but I don't know. I just don't want to run Rakshasa every time, you know? It's just kind of whatever. But Rakshasa uses a Great Katana, so he doesn't use this one. He uses a different one, but I figured it was appropriate enough to use for this run. We'll see, though. If you're min-maxing, though, definitely use Rakshasa. If you're going for a non-jump build type thing, non-rolling attack, just regular standard damage build. For my skills, I should actually mention my skill first. I used overhead stance for the Great Katana. Technically, if you're going for a bleed Great Katana, the best skill is probably Blood Tax. And after that, it'd be Repeating Thrust, I think. However, I went with overhead stance, not just because Sekiro is awesome, this is just an Ichimonji, but also because this is an Ash of War that only applies to infusible Great Katanas, and this is the only infusible Great Katana. So, this is the only skill, the only time I could use this skill is on this weapon. So I was like, hey, may as well use it, right? So, not min-max, but still very viable. All stance skills are super strong. This is probably one of the weakest ones because it has the lowest stance damage of all of them. Like, Square Off would just body this. But, yeah. That's my skill. For my build, I leaned into the skill a lot, so I used Shard of Alexander, 50% attack power on skills. Rolana's cameo, if I hold for a second, you see this red aura appear, then my next stance skill will do 45% more damage. which stacks with this to be like 67% total. It's insane. Actually insane, dudes. And then I did Lord of Blood's Exaltation. Every time I proc bleed, or someone procs bleed on me, I get 20% more attack power. Stacks with White Mask. Very good. And then Two-Handed Sword Talisman gives me 50% more attacks with two-handed weapons. That does not apply to the skill. That's just a backup in case I gotta just use regular attacks. I should also mention as well, one of the best things about Great Katanas is their super good range. And you see they have a good mix of slash and pierce. Their regular combo is pierce attacks. Their roll attack is pierce. Pierce damage, great. This is a great weapon. Their heavy attack's kind of garbage because it lasts so long, but their jump attack's normal. Their dash attack is pierce as well. Yeah. For Flask of Physique, for most of the game, I ran Green Burst, which is amazing, and Blood Sucking, which gives you another damage boost. But I didn't want to deal with that at the end of the game, so I decided to go with Opaline in the second half, and I'm going to probably stick with Opaline for most of the game, or most of the DLC, I mean, because Bloodsucking is just going to get you killed most of the time in the DLC, unless you're doing a one-shot build, so yeah. Sorry for all the yapping, but I have time, so may as well, right? So yeah, that's going to be it for this run. So I think I might try to finish the run tomorrow. If not, then probably Wednesday or Thursday. I do have WoW on Tuesday, so... and I might extend to Wednesday, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll try to do all the DLC stuff. Actually, you know what? This is going to mean my VOD's over 2 hours, but I'm going to go even further. I could actually do the running for Midra and Bale off screen if I kill the two bosses. So let's go ahead and kill them right now. Actually, we'll start with the worst one. Jory. So we'll do these two bosses and then we'll end the stream. So that saves me a lot of time. And if you don't like these bosses or whatever, you can just end the VOD right now. But this will save a lot of time whenever I do my next stream of this game. So, may as well do it. I have extra time, so. Okay, this guy's an instant attack. The enemy placement also is what makes this freaking DLC so garbage. It's so bad. It's like Dark Souls 2. But yeah. This boss we're coming up on right now, Jory the Inquisitor, is one of the worst bosses in the entire game, so... yeah. I'm super excited to fight him. In fact, you know what? Using all those flasks right there might mean I get killed here, but that's fine. Fine by me. Jory sucks absolute balls to fight. There's no question about it, but at least it's just a mini boss. Not a remembrance boss. But killing Jory now means I could do the run to Midra later, off stream, which saves a lot of just walking around the Abyssal Woods, which like everybody knows how to get through the Abyssal Woods at this time. Just save and quit, to run past the guys, and you're good. You don't need to show that. Same with Bale. We're not going to fight Sinisax or anything, we're just going to run past them. All standard stuff. Alright, Jory time. My strategy is just going to be to bum rush him. If I can get a backstab off, he'll get murdered, but it's really hard to land a backstab because he's just so freaking limber. Except when he's doing his whatever attack, the one where it's like a million things underneath you. I don't know what they're called, sorry. But we'll see. Do it, you Chad. There we go, there we go. Should teleport away in a second. Oh, okay. He's giving me really good RNG. Cool. He's literally never done that before. Dick. That is crazy. Okay, well, hey, I'll take that, though. For dang sure I'll take that. That boss is rank. Another boss that's gonna suck hard when I do the ranged rod with the frickin' crossbow that I'm thinking of. But at least he doesn't dodge. Let me grab this waypoint, and then we'll go kill Ancient Dragon Man and grab that waypoint. And then we'll be good. We could literally just boss rush the first 10 bosses. Obviously, we can't do Promised Consort because we gotta kill Mesmer and Ramana, but everybody else, for sure. Oh yeah, no, we don't need that. Boom. Okay, so where's Dragon Man? He's in here. Okay. I did get the waypoints for these areas because I knew I was gonna come here at some point. Now, Ancient Dragon Man can literally freaking one-shot me with his dragon head, so hopefully it doesn't happen. He also has the final Great Katana. We already have Rakshasa's one and this Great Katana. He has the final one, the third one. We'll talk about briefly when we get to it. We did his fast attack, Dick. We poised through that though, that's crazy. Oh, you know what we should invest in? We should invest in more mind, actually. Because there is a cap with how much mind can increase our, like, there's, like, a cap based on how much our flask restores. I can look it up after this. We got plenty of time in this stream, so may as well. Alright, don't one-shot me, Ancient Dragon Man. Don't do it. That was pretty nice, he just stood there. Okay. There we go. Oof. Okay. The Dragon Hunter's Great Katana. So I should mention as well, I didn't mention this when I was going over the build, but I think, like, all the Great Katanas are pretty similar, right? I already have the other Dragon Hunters from the new game, by the way. All these are pretty similar, but the best one probably is the Infusible Great Katana. Because you'll notice here that these only scale off strength and dex, but because these are not infusible, by the way. These are not infusible weapons, so they're somber weapons. This one is infusible, so you can actually get a third scaling on it, which means in, like, the late New Game Plus 4s and stuff, this is going to definitely be better than this Great Katana. 100%. But they're all still really good. Like, the Dragon Wound Slash ability, really strong. Weed Cutter, really strong. They all also have blood loss, but again, because these don't scale with arcane by default and they're not infusible, you can't actually scale up that blood loss buildup. So for these two weapons, it's just a nicety to have, but for the Great Katana, it could be a main feature because you can infuse it with arcane or occult, technically, or blood or poison. But these are still really, really good weapons. Like, I highly recommend any of these three, straight up. And we will one day do both the Rakshas's Great Katana and the Dragonheir's Great Katana in their own runs. Probably not for a while, though. Let it cool down. We'll do a different weapon. Which I don't know yet, actually. But let's do one more respec. I know it's kind of funny that we're respecking again, but I forgot about the mind breakpoint, so... What is it? It's like 38 or something, but let me look it up. Give me a second. You can feel free to click off the VOD if you don't care at this point, but yeah. Yeah, it's 38 mind, essentially, is the cap. And what that means is, if I'm at 38 mind, this maxed out flask will restore my entire FP bar. Anything beyond that, it will not restore. So there's no reason, really, to go past that. Unless you're using the talisman that gives you more mind on Flash, which is this one. Let me show it real quick. I do have it, right? Yeah. Yeah, here it is.
Is it thy...
So... that would actually be the best investment in my stats. Not dexterity. It would be 38 mind. So, boom. That is an increase of, yeah, like 40 something mind. So, heck yeah. I will stick to 31 endurance, I guess. You know, we could round down to 30, I guess. That's fine. 14 strength. However much dex, we don't know, actually. I think it'll be 23. We'll stick to arcane here. Boom. It's 24, okay. Cool. Excellent, dudes. So, that's going to be it for this run for today. We still have the DLC, of course. But like I said, that could be tomorrow, I'm not sure. If not, then we have WoW on Tuesday, and that might extend to Wednesday. So it depends on what happens in WoW, but could be Wednesday or Thursday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. We don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, so overall, this weapon's really good. I'm not sure what the run after this is going to be, to be honest. I might go back to the Remembrance weapons. I might do Grafted Dragon, honestly. The stupid freaking Godric Fist is kind of mid. Remembrance weapons kind of suck in this game, to be honest. But we can try. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Not confirmed yet, but that is stewing in my mind. Wait, let me put on this again as well. Boom. By the way, in the DLC, I'll talk about this again, but like when we do the DLC, but Rolana's cameo is going to be less and less relevant, unfortunately, in the DLC, depending on the enemy we're fighting, but we should still be able to use it on everybody, I think. Maybe not Midra, and ironically, maybe not Rolana, but everybody else we should be able to at some point. But yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next time. Peace.